distraction. Inside the Templar lair, the shed provides many a diversion from the struggles of swooper life. But can Lizzie and Ace create one of their own while Zack hunts for the stolen datapads, the means to finally complete their mission?
Seeing the lay of the land, Lizzie turns to Ace and says, hey, maybe before having our conversation, we should just enjoy the atmosphere. Give ourselves time to acclimate and adjust and get the lay of the land here in this new place. What do you think?
That sounds all right to me. I was just thinking it over. Irma's up there, fight's down there. I mean, of course we could talk to Irma, we could threaten her, try and figure out where these credentials we need are. But the thing is, I mean, it's not like she's got them in her pocket or something. They got to be around here. I know Zach's looking for them too, but
hey,
keep walking, we keep looking.
Yeah, that's great. You're not really a innuendo guy, are you? All right, cool, good to know. Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm not an innuendo guy. Anyway,
it's great. Enjoy the fight. She claps him hard on the back. You're right. Let's enjoy the fight. Drinks. Let's find some drinks.
That sounds good.
Yes.
Okay. Did when that happened, did they just walk in past the guard?
Yeah.
Okay. So Zach sees that and he kind of goes back the way he came. And what he wants to do is he wants to go up to the bar and see if anybody has like set down kind of that robe that they use. He kind of is looking around to see if he can throw on a Templar robe and just walk in.
Okay.
Since they didn't check credentials. So he noticed the thug didn't check the Templars walking in.
All right. So that sounds like a token flip if you want to disguise.
Oh, yes. I will do this. I will spin the light side token. And when he comes around the corner, he notices that the stairs that are cloaked in shadow are very close to the edge of the bar. And there's this group that's laughing loudly that seems to have been drinking for quite a bit of the night. And
so I think it's the arena. I think someone's taken off their robes and stepped into the arena.
That's good. So he's kind of like over behind where like maybe the fighters like prep and get ready to enter the arena.
Yeah.
So then he waltzes over and just sees it. And do I need to make a check, or I guess it's a light side token? Do I just get to sneak up and kind of swiftly throw my arms in and throw it on and walk back towards the cargo?
So you get the robe for the token flip, and we'll cut to Lizzie and Ace while you're presumably changing clothes.
Lizzie steers Ace over to a vendor, some kind of. There's got to be a bar or a.
There's a makeshift, table. Kiosk bar that's got all haphazardly put together, but definitely has the countertop, and I'd say kind of a spindly, scrawny thug behind it who's got the towel thrown over his shoulder. He just kind of nods at you.
Well, before we get quite to that place, Lizzie hangs out a little bit and sees what other people are ordering.
So it's mostly bottled drinks, bottled beers, and things like that. What can I get you?
Okay, she is familiar with the beers available on this planet. She picks one she thinks that she and Ace will both enjoy, that she has seen someone else purchase, and she orders that.
And you have it?
Nope, not bad. Little aftertaste.
This is one of Druckenwell's finest beverages. My friend.
Takes a little getting used to. It's a little different.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, so we kind of get to a place where we're not going to be just totally overheard and listened to.
It's pretty rambunctious crowd. I think you have a monicum of privacy for your conversation.
So assuming that Zach needs us to create some kind of diversion, I figure we got two ways to do it. We can fight with ourselves, or we can fight with, make a fuss about trying to get up to our Arma. What do you think about that?
Let me think. Let's see. Two of us fight. There's not a big threat, right, to either of us. We can always we can play act, we can back off. We try and fight up to Irma, the risks are going to be higher for us, right?
Definitely, but we also got to think, if it's just the rabble fighting, then maybe not enough people are looking, right?
Exactly.
Depend on what kind of situation we're in. But I think
risk, right? Higher risk, higher distraction.
Right. I mean, we could pick fights with pretty much anybody. If we picked if two of us working together pick fights with enough of the crowd, then we could certainly divert attention. But the easiest way might be to, make a beeline up and make a stink at the throne room if we really had to. But I definitely agree that should be like kind of a last resort.
You know, I'm game. If you want to approach Irma, I'm game. But how would we approach? What do we have?
So
Anything
I imagine you guys are kind of leaning up against the bar and you're looking up while you're having this discussion. And so one of the things that you guys will have noticed is that there's a staircase kind of at what would be the front of it. So in basically the middle of it, there's 3 or 4 stairs that lead up to this throne room platform that they've built, and it doesn't seem that there's really. She's got a couple of thugs around her, but it's not a kingdom. Nobody's stopping people from walking up and talking to her and then run back down and things like that. So you can see people currying their favor as the sport goes on. It doesn't look like it's overtly difficult to walk up to her.
Okay, well, I think that's our play then if we need it, which would, and of course comms are on, which would happen, at the signal, any signal, we could definitely walk up and create quite a disturbance. I don't know how long we could keep that disturbance up, perhaps quite a while. She seemed to be very interested in talking, and we could go up, not initially aggressive, just kind of a nod and then see where that went. But certainly depending on what kind of signal we might receive, we could, make a determination about what we need to do at that point.
Sure, that sounds good to me. Now, I got a question for you. These bikers, these Templar, they got any love for the imps around here?
Is that a check for me?
So most of the swoop gangs on Druckenwell, the base information that Lizzie has without the role is that they have always been able to serve profit for themselves by working for the corporations kind of under the table.
Right.
So they have kind of they're kind of the necessary evil and have been allowed to thrive on planet. For more specific information on them, I think you have to do a knowledge underworld check.
Alrighty. I happen to have that. All right. Not great, but I have a little bit of information. What is my difficulty on that?
So all the swoop gangs have a little bit of protection they keep for their information. So I think it's a hard check, but you can have a boost for being from the planet.
All right. And having interacted with the swoop gang in particular before?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All that for one success. So I tell Ace, all swoop gangs kind of act in their own profit, and whether that profit can be made off of like the Imperials or anybody else is just kind of to the whims of fate. But then what information do I get?
So for your success, that the Templars have a bit of racketeering and gambling, and obviously, like most groups, they do some smuggling. But the reason you were initially kind of pointed in their direction by Brack earlier on was that they do the smuggling for SGI. So you wouldn't necessarily say that they have an affinity for the Empire, but the Empire is certainly profitable for what they're doing out of SGI right now. You wouldn't necessarily be able to easily turn them against the Empire.
They smuggle for SGI, or they smuggle things away from SGI?
Both. So the twisted, complicated nature of the corporate structure of Druckenwell necessitates that whoever's vying for power finds a way to get their product out of the normal shipping lanes into spaceports and things like
right.
that, onto the black market. So if they're smuggling from SGI, they're not necessarily smuggling for the corporate CEO, but they are benefiting all of the SGI elite who want to be a part of the black market and pocket some of that profit.
Right. Okay. So they're definitely not, because since Lizzie was kind of pointed there maybe by Brack, but they're not sympathizers. Like they
don't want to bite the hand that feeds them, essentially. Right. Is where they're at. But they had the in on SGI, so they know the routes to get you guys in if you didn't have credentials even.
Right. So, I mean, I think I could sum this up for you, Ace, as the hand works for the stomach and the stomach works for the hand. So.
Right. That's a shame. Be nice to have a crew like this on the ground when everything hits the fan. But can't change everybody. It's the complicated world we live in. I've got
cut price, cut rate. You can buy them off. Great. Can't. Whatever. Get what you pay for.
Yep.
Thanks for using the sling,
You're welcome.
Jessica. You can take a boost dice on your next
Way to go.
for keeping it authentic.
I do what I can.
So right before we get back to Zach, I think you guys are you hear the crowd give a large roar as one of the matches ends in the arena, and you hear the announcer.
And now for your favorite Open Fight Night! Who will be the first to step into the ring? Who will earn undying fame and glory? Step on up and show us what you're made of.
Well, there you go. There's a way to earn some favor, get some points.
I
You look like you'd be pretty handy in a hand-on-hand fight, one-on-one, mano-a-mano.
Maybe 5 years ago, but
Don't sell yourself short.
these feet aren't quite as nimble as they used to be.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're missing a leg, aren't you?
Well, I mean, wouldn't say I'm missing it. It's
That's fair. You know what? Now it's just heavier and more of a weapon.
good point.
Funny story. I actually trained with a guy, martial arts, with a guy who had a prosthetic leg. And man, he would kick the stuffing out of you with that thing. And it was like being hit with a bat. Like, oh, it was hilarious. It was great. I loved that guy. Anyways.
I should probably, in the future, if I get to do a brawl check and kick, can I take a boost from my metal leg?
You should.
You might be able to, yeah.
Okay, just putting that
I've
out there.
seen it.
I could see that. Or maybe we give it a range. I don't know. Yeah, we can figure it out. If you want to join the boxing match, we can totally make that happen.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Maybe we talk to Irma and I'll think it over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we talk to Irma, if you're going to do this, maybe you should do it before we talk to Irma, because I'm thinking the conversation with Irma might start friendly and not end as friendly.
Fair enough.
So, now's your chance to shine.
Let me just get one more of those beers in me. That'll,
All right.
There we go. I think Ace is talking himself into going into that ring.
Lizzie's
Yeah.
kind of talking him up about it, too. She's like, rubbing his shoulders. She got the water bottle and a towel. They've materialized out of nowhere. She's just like picking stuff up. Like, yeah, we got this. She's his trainer.
Right.
Right.
And I think we're cutting back to Zach having finished putting on the knockoff Jedi robes that the Templars wear, and is now within view of the door that seems to be where everything is kept.
Full poser gear.
That's right. So Andrew, you can tell me if this is. I know what I want to do.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say it, and then you can shut it down or allow it. So what I want to do is Zach is leaning against the entrance to the little cargo container that leads to this blast door with the rope, kind of pretending, keeping his eyes down, but pretending to watch the fights going on. And he is waiting for someone to walk by him to go to the blast door. And what he wants to do is he's going to use a stealth check to walk really close to the guy without him noticing after he passes, so that it looks like we're walking in together.
Interesting. Okay.
Because he feels like just one person, he's going to get a good look of Zach. So what he's trying to do is just, like when someone like sort of like tails somebody, or not even tails somebody, but walks really close, and it's like they're mirroring them. So the guy in front of him doesn't know that a guy's behind him, but the bouncer at the door or the guard at the door, I'm close enough where he would assume that we would be walking together.
Okay. Well, then let's roll that stealth check.
All right.
So it's still average,
Okay.
and you get a boost die
Okay.
for
All right. So average with the
average
boost,
with a
right?
boost.
I get just a success.
Okay.
That's it.
So you wait until someone is walking by. It's just one more average thug who's heading towards the storage room, and you've kind of fallen sync behind him and look as if you belong. So you're able to walk right up behind him without him noticing, and through the door, the blast door, into the storage space. And it closes behind you, and you pause as the thug kind of moves back to the far right corner. Inside, you see a set of like storage shelves that have a variety of gear and things, smuggled goods, black market materials, and that kind of thing. On your left is kind of like a bunch of swoop parts that kind of line the outside warehouse wall. You notice that this is kind of a fairly secure room, in that the gaps that you've been seeing in the warehouse, the rusted out holes and missing panels, aren't here on this outside wall. That's all been caged in and made to be safe, because the only way in and out is the door you just came through. You can hear two other thugs kind of in the back corner, far corner from you, as they're sifting through the contents of the cargo container or the storage container that they brought in earlier. And the third guy comes and drops his armful of stuff kind of on the table and is chatting with them. And so with that, what do you want to do next?
So how many people are in the room?
You got 3 guys.
3 guys. Are there any? Is it just one room, or are there any like closets, or is it just a singular room?
It's kind of one large storage room.
Okay.
Like a caged in room. Though it's a storage room. So
Could I make a perception check to see if there's any data pads around me?
Yeah.
On the table or anything like that?
yeah. So yeah, let's take a look around.
Okay. What is that?
It is
And I mean like any data pad.
looking for any data pads. You may not find the
Yeah,
data pad
like-
you're looking for.
Exactly. I'm just looking to see. Well, I guess. Okay. I don't know if this is fair, but obviously I look around to see if there's just a stash of data pads, right? There's just out and about.
Okay.
But I kind of assume that that's the one I'm looking for is going to be stashed away somewhere more secure, maybe in a lockbox or something. So I don't expect to find it, but I kind of have a plan on if there's just a data pad sitting out as well, kind of a plan B.
Okay. So let's make it an average check, but I'm going to flip a destiny token since I
Okay.
have more, and I'm going to change one of the purples to a red.
Okay, there are no data pads. I'm fairly good at perception. It's actually my best, almost my best. And so you said, so it's 1 red, 1 purple, correct?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no despairs, but I only got 2 advantage.
Only 2 advantages.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you've noticed is that the room is decently organized, but it's not organized by types of things. You can see that some things are labeled basically kind of by the shipment or the client that they're a part of. And so there isn't anything that there's no pile of data pads anywhere in particular, except there's one pile that you can see that the 2 guys at the table, or I guess the 3 guys now at the table that are chatting, are going through. They're going through the hall that they just got from Blythe. So you've noticed where it's at, but they are currently shuffling through those data pads and organizing them into stacks at the table. You have to get through them somehow. And while you consider what to do next, I think we want to hear what Ace and Lizzie are up to.
So how about it? You wanna go try your luck, fight in the ring, Ace? Is this your big chance?
So I'm looking over Ace's staff,
Yeah, no, that's fair.
and
Lizzie cannot see Ace's stats. She may be encouraging him to a foolhardy end.
yeah, he's really not the best like hand-to-hand brawler. I think he is willing to fight, and I think he's had a beer or two, and that's kind of boosting his confidence. I think that they're walking up towards Irma, and they're getting a better like view of the fighting ring.
We're scoping out the
And
competition.
Andrew, do you have an idea of who's fighting?
Yeah. So what you guys see as you approach the throne and get a better idea of it as you look in the ring, you see that it's kind of arranged where there's there's a few fighters kind of making a ring on the outside, but it's only 2 people at a time going back and forth. And it's been described as boxing because it's mostly boxing. But you notice that since this is a swoop gang boxing ring, that melee weapons aren't discouraged, and survivability inside the arena isn't guaranteed. You see the previous combatant being drug off the ring, not moving anymore. So
2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
So you see a kind of average-sized man with his his Jedi robes off, but he's still got the bandages around him that they wear to look like a Jedi, and he's just kind of cracking his knuckles. There's nothing too particularly special about him. Next to him is a little bit more of a man with a little bit more of a saunter to him. It looks like he's kind of not as strong as the muscly man cracking his knuckles, but he's flipping a knife kind of end over end. And there's a third guy there who is brandishing a bit of a whip. So they look like they're kind of increasing in difficulty that one would face, and they're kind of kings of the ring, if you will.
How you feeling about it, Ace? Lizzie chirps.
Well, not particularly great, but you said chatting with Irma maybe was the last resort. Let's call fighting a last resort at this point.
Oh, I see.
But we dropped our blasters off. They didn't pat us down. I've got my knife. I could use that in the arena if I've got to.
I mean, do you want to? This is about what you want. This has suddenly become. This is like a fun night out on Druckenwell, Ace. Like, do you want to go toe to toe? Like, does this sound like a fun thing to you? Come on, you want to get some smackdown in or no? Lizzie starts like shadow boxing in the corner.
I mean, I wouldn't mind trying to put my skills to the test, but
It's a test, a warrior's test.
I mean, we've got a mission to do, though. I don't know.
You know, right now our mission is just to wait.
I think Zach's able to come over the comm at that point, because I don't know that Zach said that he has eyes on the data pads, the credentials that you're looking for. So.
Can I speak without them hearing me, I assume?
Yes.
I mean, you can speak and we will hear you, but maybe no one else will. Is that what you mean?
I mean, I'm standing in a room full with 3 people.
Yeah.
I think that's how movies make it work, right?
I am so stealthy. I can limit how far my voice
Right.
carries.
You text us.
I text you. All right. So Zach comes over the intercom.
Guys, I have eyes on the data pad, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to get it. Three thugs are going through the score earlier.
Do you need us to make a distraction? Lizzie asks, hopefully.
It'd have to be a pretty big distraction. Guys seem pretty focused on going through and kind of organizing what they got earlier.
Wait, are they like librarians?
I didn't stop to ask. I'm just telling you what I see. I got 3 guys in a small room that are holding the data pads. So it'd have to be a big enough distraction where they hear it and immediately, without being asked, leave the room to go help.
Okay, so Lizzie turns to Ace and is like, all right, we can do this one of 2 ways. We can either make a big stink with Arma, or we can induce a new round of betting. What's it going to be, champ?
I kind of feel like no matter how good or bad I do in this fight, I don't know if it's really going to distract everyone enough, is it?
Oh, it could. Because if it doesn't, like if you're in the ring fighting and it's not distracting enough, I can always go make a run up at Arma. I mean, we got like we got a fallback plan, but like, I feel like...
So as you guys are kind of debating this, I just want to throw out that having everybody's attention on the distraction group can be a social check. There's always charm and coercion and things along those lines. But I also know that leadership is about getting eyes and telling people what to do. I will also take that as a performance skill, just FYI.
Just as like a gladiatorial style thing, right?
Huh?
Yeah.
All right, enough chat then. I'm getting in there.
All right.
Let's do this.
So Lizzie starts to make a big to-do. We have a taker. We've got a contender.
The crowd falls silent, and they all kind of look at you, wondering, sizing you up. How big a deal does... I think it's time for a leadership check.
She's definitely pointing. And can Lizzie aid that leadership check with anything? Like anything?
Yeah, she's being a hype person.
She's absolutely hyping.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I'll do a leadership check, and I think Ace is he's gonna throw off his robe, his like hooded kind of garb, and sort of reveal himself to the crowd and try and
keep those tattoos covered though.
Sure. He's gonna have his arms kind of wrapped up in this like leather strips, but he's gonna do a little performance. He's gonna do a little professional wrestling like hype before he jumps down into the ring.
Yeah.
Can I aid him with a charm check, or is it something else?
So the check will be Doug's to make, but you are lending aid to that. So you can either assist the leadership check as kind of a group one, if that's a skill Lizzie has. If that's not a skill she has, then it's adding a boost dice to it.
Okay, so Lizzie has 2 green in a leadership check.
Yeah, so you're adding a boost dice is what that's going to be.
Okay.
So,
and what you said, average difficulty?
I actually hadn't set a difficulty yet. I'm stalling for time. I'm curious if you want to give us a little bit of the performance in character for another boost die.
Sure. So he throws his hood off and his cloak off. That was the word I was searching for. And says, "Is anyone in here tough enough to take on a retired clone?"
Lizzie jumps right in. Fresh from the Clone Wars, we have a prime specimen ready to fight right here in the arena right now. Can we get a hand for the mysterious stranger in corner 2? She starts hyping, like for real hyping.
And Ace is also gonna. I think he's gonna pull his knife out of his boot, which he's had the whole time, and kind of tosses it from hand to hand. Does like a little Jango Fett style like trick, like twirls it around in one hand to just look extra cool and tough.
Yeah. So add another boost dice, so you get 2, and it's gonna be an average check. Yeah.
Okay. They might not like that I'm an off-worlder. I got 2 threat.
Just 2 threat.
Yep.
So the crowd soaks in this spectacle that you guys are creating, but all they see is, a man who's looks like to be in his 60s, missing a leg. Still, not unmuscular or anything like that, but the prime was perhaps 30 years ago.
This off-worlder, nicely dressed, will he be red carded?
And I think I think the crowd kind of breaks out into a little bit of a laugh. And I think that Ace suffers a strain.
That's fair. Sure. Yeah. His pride's a little hurt. We'll see who's laughing in 5 minutes. I serve up this guy's head to all of you.
Which junior executive wants to step up?
Thanks for joining us in the Dicey Cantina. Enjoying the show? Consider giving us a 5-star review on iTunes and join us on Twitter at Dicey Cantina. Shoot an email to diceycantina@gmail.com or drop us a line over at anchor.fm. We'd love to hear from you, and your support truly helps the show grow. We want to say thank you to Doug for joining us in this series. You can find Doug's art at voidboy.art. And don't forget about Donate for Destiny. Muck about with our Destiny pool and help children in difficult situations through Child Play Charity. We can't reach our $500 goal without your help. So please give if you can. Click through to help via the links in our show notes. That's all for now. So pull up a stool and we'll see you here next week in the Dicey Cantina.
Hello, and welcome to The Other Place. The Other Place is an actual play RPG podcast set in a fantasy world on the verge of an undead apocalypse. Join Chauncey, Marta, and Peck as they journey across the continent of Fenrain, solving mysteries, hunting ghosts, and putting the dead back in their graves.
And as we turn towards the bar to start eating, I'm going to use my triumph to overhear a conversation next to us. And what I hear is 2 people talking about
a haunting.
I grab my whip curled up and I go and I use it still curled up and hit her with the cat of 9 tails because she's that close to me.
Okay, make that roll.
It slashes across its chest and starts oozing black from where the cat of 9 tails slashed across.
It's reaching out its little cracked hand, and I successfully cut it off at the wrist.
Okay, what's the damage on your weapon?
I feel as though my life is drawing me to fight against the undead that are popping up all across our world. And there's just something about it that I feel I must battle.
Join us every other Monday for a new episode filled with suspense, mystery, and adventure. The Other Place is available now, wherever you listen to your podcasts.